I did a full face using only drugstore makeup, and honestly, some of these can beat out my high-end favorites. Today we're going to be doing a full face of drugstore makeup products that are actually worth it in 2025. Everything that I have here is super affordable. So for primer, today I'm going to be using the Maybelline Grippy Serum Primer. This is one of my favorite drugstore makeup primers. For primer, you really don't need a lot. Not even a full pump of this, like you don't need that much. And for me, I like to apply my primer mainly in my T-zone and then kind of just take what's left and move it onto my cheeks and out from my chin. I've made a couple videos and I started a new short series. Make sure to go check that out. But I love this primer. So this is one of my favorites because it's got such a lightweight serum-y texture, but like it still grips. So it dries down and gives you a little bit of tack. Today for skin tint, shake it up a little bit, I'm going to be using the Maybelline Superstay 24-Hour Skin Tint in the shade 102. This and the L'Oreal True Match have become the drugstore makeup skin tint. So this one gives a little bit more coverage than my L'Oreal True Match, but it's still very lightweight. And as long as you prep your skin correctly, I mean, this goes with anything, as long as you're prepping your skin correctly and accordingly, it's not gonna cling to your dry patches. It's not gonna show a bunch of texture, nothing like that. See, like, you can build this up if you would like. I don't like a full coverage moment unless I'm like going to an event or something like that. So I like to keep this pretty minimal. So we're just gonna do like a very, very light layer today, just because like where my skin is kind of really irritated. I don't want to like suffocate it too much or nothing. This is the Paw Paw Beauty Sponge on Amazon. I think it might be Black Friday right now. I'm just gonna go back in and just press everything in with my sponge. I'll be using the Morphe color corrector. This is in the shade Blossom 01. I love using the tiniest little bit amount just under my eyes. You see where I have the most like discoloration, purple, blue hues. I like to just use the tiniest little bit just to kind of brighten up the area before we do concealer or anything. And with color corrector, I mean, if you've got discoloration around your nose or just wherever, I've got a lot going on around my nose. I'm not gonna do too much about that because I don't really like irritated too much, but if you have like discoloration, color corrector is really good for that as well. So you can take some of this and just apply like tiny little bits around your nose or just wherever. And same thing, I'm gonna go back in with my sponge. You can still see it a little bit, but it just brightens it up and makes it look a little bit better. Now for bronzer slash contour, I'm gonna be using the e.l.f. Camo Liquid Bronzer and Contour. This is in the shade Fair. I love how cool tone this is. So see, I'm just gonna put it where I want the most shadow and just kind of dot it just barely. I don't like a whole lot up here. And as far as my nose, I don't really desire to change the shape of my nose or the appearance of it. I'm gonna go in with this side of the brush and I'm just going to tap 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 tap. See where I'm already creating that line? When I tap, instead of bringing it down my face, try and keep it lifted up. So I'm going to try and keep this building up. We've got a nice shadow going on, and then go in with the fluffy side and just kind of buff that into the skin. But I love that these add like a little bit of warmth and a little bit of definition to the face without pulling up whatever you've got going on underneath. Now the forehead is much more forgiving. I'm gonna kind of buff this around my forehead. Make sure to get it into my hairline. I know some people have said the e.l.f. Camo line is like patchy, like the blushes are patchy. I have not tried Camo blushes, but as far as the bronzer, I think that it looks very nice and I don't think it looks patchy at all on me. I'm gonna go in with my NYX Bare With Me Concealer Serum, and this is in the shade Fair. So I'm just gonna pump that on the back of my hand. I don't need too much, just about one pump because we did all that color correcting. This is such a hydrating concealer. Oh my goodness, especially for being drugstore. I have experienced no creasing with this concealer. Like, I used this concealer on my mom recently. So this served like a brightening shade for her. She's got like mature under eyes. She had like little to no creasing while I was doing her makeup and by the end of the night. I love how skin-like this concealer looks, and at first when I first started using it, I thought that it was too watery, too serum-y, you know? But the more and more that I've used it and kind of learned how to use it and what works for me, I've really grown to love it. My little spots, we're going to put some concealer on them just to kind of cover this up. Such a beautiful formula. It's kind of hard when I have like spots around my nose because I have freckles. Like, I don't want to cover up all my freckles, especially with it getting colder. I don't have as many freckles. A lot of people try and like hide their freckles, or people will draw on faux freckles. Like, I don't know, all kinds of people, different opinions about their own freckles and their want for freckles. But we've got that. I'm just gonna go back in. That's not my brush. Go back in with the contour brush and just kind of reestablish that warmth. I'm gonna go in with my liquid blush. This is from ColourPop in the shade Thanks, THX. I always struggle saying this. And I'm going to keep this more so on the high points of my cheeks. But this blush from ColourPop is so pigmented, oh my goodness. And it's such an affordable option as well. I don't have any liquid blushes that are high end. Like, I have my Makeup by Mario cream blush and I love it so much. I don't have any other sort of liquid blush. So I'm trying to keep that kind of on the high points of my cheeks to kind of give me a little. I'm gonna go in with my sponge again, just kind of blend that into the skin, especially on this side. This is such an amazing eyebrow pencil, oh my goodness. I get the like 2-packs of them. This is the e.l.f. Instant Lift brow pencil, and I have mine in the shade neutral brown. But I love the like duos of this. It's like $5 for 2 of them. It's very, very creamy. So I like to go right here at the bottom and then into my tail a little bit. I don't really have too much to fill in or anything. Today I'm going in with my pencil first, and then I'm going to go in with eyebrow gel. Starting off with your eyebrow gel kind of helps to map out where you're going to fill in your brows. But I kind of know my brows and like where I'm going to fill them in, so I'm just going to go on and do it. I'm going to go back into the base. I'm going to be using my Maybelline Fit Me powder, and this is in the shade Fair. Sure there's no creasing. I'm gonna swirl it into the back of my hand just to kind of diffuse it everywhere and then place it. Love this powder so much. This powder is a classic. I would say that the Maybelline Fit Me powder is more of like a heavy duty setting powder. Like, you can really mattify and build it up, but you can also get a really natural looking set depending on the method that you use and how much powder that you use. So I'm gonna go on and set my forehead and just kind of stipple this around. I'm gonna take a fluffier brush, same thing, swirl it on the back of my hand, and just kind of dust the outskirts of my face, just so we have some sort of setting going on. I like to set my entire face, and then I'm gonna obviously, you know, brush it away a little bit. But yeah, I like to set my entire face just so I know like that it's not gonna move. This is such a beautiful powder, you guys. It is so smooth. It goes on the skin. It looks so nice without looking too heavy. As long as you do it right. I used to kind of like pack it under my eyes. And even with a little bit of setting spray, it still will melt into your skin. Like, such a beginner-friendly powder. You really cannot go wrong with the Maybelline Fit Me powder. Now we're going to go into a powder blush. This is the blush from ColourPop, the shade Swirled. This is very pigmented, depending on how heavy a hand you use and how much you use. I just like to layer this on top of that liquid blush just to kind of set it in place and give a little bit extra little pop of color. Such a beautiful, beautiful formula. It's not patchy, it's not cakey, nothing like that. I need to set these brows. So now I'm going to go in with my sponge again over the powder just to kind of make sure that it's all blending in smoothly, that our skin is still looking like skin. Ooh, we got a little bit of blush blindness going on. It's okay. My Morphe Rich Glitch palette. I love this palette. See my videos, if you've watched some of them, you know that I am not good with eyeshadow. I don't really know how to do many eyeshadow looks, but this palette, love. It is so, so beautiful. Just the perfect like cool tone neutral palette. Love it. I'm gonna go in with this color right here all all over the eyelid to get that first base color down. Dip into right here, Hush Money, and just kind of take it on the outer and then blend it in. Take that same color and just get along my waterline. Champagne Splash. I love this color. I probably use these top 3 shades the most just because they are the lightest shades, like a barely there but a pop of color makeup look, which I love, and that is totally my jam. I'm gonna take a little bit and just kind of put it right here, whatever is left on that brush. To add like a sparkle to the eyes. I really like that. NYX Professional Makeup Epic Wear Eyeliner. I'm just gonna tightline my top and bottom. I'm gonna take a little bit of that and just kind of add a little bit of a baby wing definition. Mascara, I'm going to use the Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara. This mascara is still one of the best, dare I say the best, drugstore mascara. This is my favorite drugstore mascara, my go-to. So pretty. It separates, it lengthens, it curls the lashes naturally, which I don't curl my lashes, so I like the little bit of lift that it gives to my lashes. I'm really messy with my mascara, so I'm really trying not to ruin the makeup look, the eyeshadow look that we just did, but let me know if you've tried the Maybelline Sky High mascara. I've heard such good things about it, and it was like the mascara trending for a while, but I've never tried it, so I want to know if it's good or not. Have you tried it? Also, with the L'Oreal Telescopic mascara, I've heard good things about that as well. Let me know down below if you have tried that mascara, if you like it, kind of how it wears, how it builds. For lips, I'm going to go in with this Milani lipstick. I'm not really sure what it is, but this is in the shade Teddy Bear. Such a pretty, like, mauve-y neutral color. Well, it's not really neutral. It's just such a beautiful, like, mauve. The formula is just so smooth. It's more of like a matte, like a silky matte. Our gloss, we're going to go in with my NYX Fat Oil in the shade Sprinkle Sprinkle. I put my mom onto this. Like, she seen this, tried it on, and she went and bought herself one. These are so juicy and just hydrating. They give that, like, plump, juicy look without being plumping and without being, like, sticky. And they taste good. Don't ask me how I know that. The very last thing we're going to do is set our brows in place. Now, this is the NYX the brow glue. So if you've seen some of my other videos, you know that this is not particularly my favorite brow gel, but it still does work. It's just very difficult, and in order to avoid having eyebrow dandruff and stuff with this, you have to be very meticulous, I guess is the word. I don't really know. I'm just going to lightly set these brows into place. I used this on my mom when I was doing her makeup, and she says, I'm gonna make my brows gross. Like, I feel like matching like my shirt. With that NYX oil, I'm gonna go in with the Milani Keep It Full Max. This is plumping, and she packs a punch. This is in the shade Little Secret. I'm just gonna kind of put that in the center. Setting spray, I'm going to go in with my Milani Make It Last Original. This stuff melts in all of the powders, but also helps your makeup to stay in place all day. One of the best, if not the best, drugstore setting sprays. I'm going to wait for it to dry down a little bit, and then I'm going to go back in with my beauty blender and just kind of press that into the skin. This is the finished look. Honestly, these products are so good. Like, they can genuinely replace some high-end products. If you guys want to see a full face of high-end / Sephora makeup products, let me know in the comments, and just let me know other video ideas that you would want to see, you guys would like to see more of. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. Bye guys.